Hello, it is Longship Gaming, and it is time for more Marvel Champions. We're going to be playing Quicksilver versus Mojo in the last scenario of the Mojo Mania scenario pack. Now, Quicksilver is not listed as a mutant in Marvel Champions, but we're going to treat him as such. I thought it was only thematically appropriate to do so. We're also going to go with the protection deck because we always want to be standing up as much as possible, never being exhausted to be able to outrace this particular scenario. I'll go over that in a minute, but speed really is of the essence here. So we'll see if Quicksilver can bring it home. So we are doing protection. Our only protection ally is going to be Nightcrawler. He's great for us because if he could take any damage from blocking, he can come back to our hand, freeing up Quicksilver from having to defend. We have, for our events, 3 copies of Counterpunch. So, response attack. After your hero defends against an enemy attack, deal damage to that enemy equal to your hero's attack. There are lots of ways to get him buffed up throughout the phase. He's got I'll go over his stats in a minute. So, it belies the ability for him to get very, very high attack. And we'll see if that helps us. We want to be doing as much damage to Mojo as possible, as quickly as possible, because of the nature of this particular scenario. 3 copies of Repurpose. So discard tech upgrade, ready your hero, and choose thwart, attack, or defense. Until the end of the round, your hero gets plus X to the chosen power, where X equals that upgrade's printed cost. Great for a lot of burst damage, especially when we have 3 copies of Energy Barrier. Which has reflection counters on them. So as those start to go down, on the last counter when we don't need any more, we can use Repurpose to put out a lot more damage, or thwart if we need to. Also for upgrades, we have Unflappable. So you defend against an attack and take no damage, exhaust Unflappable, and draw a card. We have Armored Vest to boost defense by 1. Force Field Generator, 6 energy counters, max 1 per player. When you would take any amount of damage, remove that many energy counters from here. For each energy counter removed this way, prevent 1 of the damage. And lastly, Electrostatic Armor. After you defend against an attack, deal 1 damage to the attacking character. So basically getting Retaliate. We're trying to protect ourselves as much as possible, and eke out every bit of damage you possibly can. So, for our basic cards, we have Order and Chaos. So it's an event. Team Up, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch. So we're going to have Signature Ally out. Hero Interrupt. When a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects, then deal 2 damage to the villain. Put those at the bottom. We have another tech upgrade. It's a Plasma Pistol. Has 3 counters, just does 1 damage, not as an attack. But again, when we get down to 1, we can use Repurpose on it. Adrenaline Rush, Hero Action, discard Adrenaline Rush. Your hero gets plus 1 attack until the end of the phase. So sort of the ideal situation here is that you end up with all 3 of these out. And just boosting your attack to ridiculous levels on a turn, since you can attack so many times in a turn. Death Focus, very important for Quicksilver because almost every one of his cards is a superpower. So it's a fantastic discount. He's an Avenger, so we get access to the Queen Carrier. Helicarrier, again, we're looking for lots of discounts. Play as many cards as cheaply as possible. And Genius, Strength, and Energy. Okay, so for the scenario, Mojo is a little complicated. We're playing an Expert, of course. So he's coming at stage 2. So he has a scheme of 3, an attack of 1, hit points of 18. When revealed, place 2 threat on each friendly character. Okay, so we're going to put 2 threat on Pietro. Forced response, hero. After your turn ends, so on the hero phase, discard the top 4 cards of the encounter deck. Place 1 threat on your hero for each card discarded this way that does not belong to the Mojo encounter set. So he's going to be going through his relatively small deck very, very quickly. His main scheme is Mojo Mania. So when revealed, it's got 25 as a threshold. Comes in with 10, goes up by 1 each turn. Choose one set-aside encounter set at random, reveal its show environment, and shuffle its remaining cards into the encounter deck. As a force interrupt, when the character flips or leaves play, move all threat from that character to the scheme. So we never, ever, ever want to be flipping down to Pietro. We have to try and prevent almost all the damage from hitting him. Because the scenario really is you're on a clock. You're trying to outrace both the scheme and the exhaustion of the genres. And I'll get to that in a second. So we never, ever, ever, unless we have the threat for here. And as far as I know, there is no way to get it off. We have to make sure that we just prevent all damage that's hitting us. So anyway, that aside. So we have the Wheel of Genre. So it's currently in the spinning side. Force response. After the encounter deck resets, if there are no set-aside modular encounter sets remaining, we lose the game. Otherwise, flip this card. So, I mean, there really is... And the way this is set up, because there's only one player, it's only one additional show. So the show that we have flipped, so I randomly chose 2 of the genre decks. Modular sets. It was horror and crime. So crime is the one that comes out first. So dial in for Mojo. Each other character gains insight 1. Every other encounter card gains insight 1, which is bad for us. However, each friendly character gets +1 thwart. So it's not the best one to have. I'd rather have the one that gives us the attack. I can't remember what genre that is. But I mean, it'll do for this scenario. The other one is horror. So what happens is, if we exhaust this deck, it flips the Wheel of Genre, and then we put the new show environment into play, and those all those show cards go on the top of the deck. So, yeah. It's going to be a real race. So the whole point is Quicksilver has to do as much damage as quickly as possible, not take damage, and try and outrun the wheel, the damage, and the scheme. So we'll see if he can do it. It's tough, but I think he has a chance of bringing it home. So I'm going to shuffle it up, and we'll be right back with Quicksilver versus Mojo. All right, we're back. We're shuffled up and ready to go. I just realized that we didn't go over Quicksilver. So he has 9 hit points on his alter ego side. He has 3 recovery. Superpowered siblings action. Discard 2 cards from your hand. Draw 2 cards, or draw 3 cards instead if one of Maximoff is in play, once per round. On his Quicksilver hero side, we have a thwart of 1, attack of 1, and defensive 1, which is a very bad stat line. However, super speed response. After you use one of Quicksilver's basic powers, thwart, attack, or defense, ready him once per phase. So he's going to be ready as much as possible and can do a lot of thwarting. So right now, with Dial M for Mojo in play, he's got a 2 thwart. He can theoretically thwart 4 in a turn, which is pretty good. So, our starting hand, we have Energy Barrier, Accelerated Reflex, which is very good for us. Always be running. Unflappable. Always be running. And Helicarrier. Okay, so the +1 defense is critical for us here. So we're keeping that for sure. Unflappable, also critical for us. Energy Barrier to protect us. Maybe that as well we'll keep. Don't know if we need to always be running at the moment. So we're going to hang on to these. Friction resistance, reinforced sinew, double time. Okay, all these are very expensive for us. We're not going to double time really right now. Sinew is great. Friction resistance is also really great. Wow, okay. So, I don't want to throw away anything. We can get rid of 2. They're all so good. I don't think we're going to throw... We're only going to get rid of... Discard 2. I have to discard 2. So I think it's going to be double time and energy barrier. So energy and order and chaos. Okay, so I think that paid off for us to some degree. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to put out accelerated reflex. We're going to pay for unflappable. We're going to hold on to these for next turn. We're going to flip over. Do we thwart? Do we attack? We'd only do 2 damage, but we can thwart for 4, so we're going to do thwart for 2, thwart for 2. All right. 1, 2, 3. So, reinforced sinew, friction resistance, maximum velocity, repurpose, and energy barrier. Okay. So, force response hero. After your turn ends, discard the top 4 cards of the encounter deck. So, that was my phase, but not my turn? Give me 1 second. I gotta. It's an odd one. I just want to make sure that I'm not screwing up the idea of turn here. Whether it doesn't matter if I do it now or I do it later. Terribly exciting, for sure, isn't it? Yep, okay, so it counts as turn at the end of what I just did. So, discard top 4 cards of the encounter deck. So, that's a Mojo. So, we're looking for ones that are not Mojo. So, Mojo, Crime, Mojo, Mojo. So, only 1 goes on us. Sorry for the dead air there. Okay. So, he is now going to attack. We will defend. We have a defense of 2. He is an attack of 1. Okay, so we took no damage from that. And take no damage, so we draw a card off of Unflappable. Excellent. Okay. Encounter card. First response, after a side scheme is defeated, place 1 clue counter here. Then if there are at least 3 clue counters here, discard this card. Okay, so we have an obligation stuck to us now called Build the Case. So, first of all, that's an encounter card, so it's going to incite. And it's accelerating, and we have to defeat side schemes. But there are none. So, this is one of the less pleasant ones to encounter. Oh, should have stood back up because I can do that because of super speed. Okay, so it's back to our turn. So, we're going to play out friction resistance. So we can now generate resources. And we're going to play out reinforced sinew. So we have a +1 attack. So we are... Oh, that one should have... No, not yet. We have nothing to use that for right now. We're going to just attack twice and do 4. So it's down to 14. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hyper Perception, Repurpose, Counterpunch, Armored Vest, and Nightcrawler. Okay. So he is going to scheme, or scheme's going to go on, I should say. He's going to attack. We will defend. Oh, sorry, I have to do this first, of course. This is... Okay, so that's Crime, Mojo, Mojo, Mojo. Okay, so only one goes on us here. So we're defending, attack of 1, so we do take 1 damage there. We are going to use our counterpunch. So he's going to take 2. We took damage, so unfortunately Unflappable doesn't go off. We're going to ready. And counter card. Law and Order. Okay. So, this has 6 on it. Hinder, when revealed, place 1 threat here, so it's a 6. Each friendly character gets -2 attack, so we don't want that. Spend X energy resources, remove X threat from this scheme. Also not a thing that we want to do. So, and that's going to incite. So that has to go away, because that attack just absolutely cripples us. So we're going to generate a resource. We're going to spend Nightcrawler to put out Hyper Perceptions. Now we have +1 thwart. So we have all of our bonus abilities here, or bonus stats. So we have a thwart of 3, so we're going to thwart for 3. We're going to ready, which is going to ready friction resistance. We're going to use friction resistance to pay for our vest. And we're going to thwart again. So unfortunately that really slowed us down. Puts a clue counter on build the case. Okay, now we're going to ready at the end of our turn. So now we have a base defense of 3, which is pretty good for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have to discard again. That's a Mojo, not a Mojo, not a Mojo, not a Mojo. So 3 is going to go on us. Okay. So his turn starts. He's already up to 712, so he's about halfway there. He's going to attack. We will defend. Base defense of 3. No damage. Unflappable goes off. Draw a card. Stand up again. So we have Always Be Running, Death Focus, Adrenaline Rush, Scarlet Witch, Repurpose, and Energy Barrier. Okay. Encounter card. Curtain Call. When revealed, remove all threat from the character with the most threat on to the main scheme. If no threat was moved this way, place 1 threat on each character you control. Oof. So that's all of our threat. So that's 7, which puts him at an awful 19. Oh, okay, so does that. So that turns into a 5. And 7 more. So that's 15 and another 5. So he's at 20 already. Wow. Okay. Well, that does give us a chance to flip down this turn, maybe. We'll see. Okay. So, I think for sure Scarlet Witch is our play here. So, 1, 2, 3 for Scarlet Witch. So each character gets +1 thwart. So she's going to thwart. So she's at a 2, and then we discard the top card of the encounter deck for each boost icon discard this way. She gets +1 to that power for this use. So nothing extra, so she takes 2 off. I mean, we're in a situation where we're going to have to. Thwart. So we're thwarting for 3. Then we're going to ready. Then we're going to play out Deft Focus. Okay, these are all those never get exhausted. So, Pro Deft Focus. We are going to thwart again for 3. Use Always Be Running to ready. Thwart again for 3. Okay. It's not ideal, but I mean, it's unfortunately what we have to do. Are we going to flip down? I think we are, because we want to have access to the ability to get more ideal cards on this turn. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Always Be Running, Force Field Generator, Adrenaline Rush, Electrostatic Armor, and Double Time. Okay. So, it's the end of our turn. No. Yes. No. Yes. Okay, so we have 2. Okay. And then 2 goes on here. And then he's going to scheme. Scheming for 3, 4. And the encounter card, Surge. Wow, okay. So 2 more. He's going to just gain Surge. It's another one. Avalanche shows up. But this goes... Yeah, so that does that. I think there's one more. This goes into the encounter deck. So, first of all, I think there's one more that we have to draw. So this is getting messy up here. My God, we got rid of all that threat and it all came back. So, Avalanche, Insight... Insight 2. Wow. Oh, and Extortion of Size and Proportions. Insight's 1. Amazing. When revealed, each player must choose to either take 2 indirect damage or exhaust their identity. We'll just take 2 indirect. That's unbelievably gross. And then we have one more because it's we still have one more. Incite 1 reveal. Oh my god. So let's incite 2. So he's at 23. When revealed, discard 2 cards from your hand and exhaust your identity. This is just awful. Well, the generator can go, and this can go. Wow. What a disaster. Okay, well, we need to get more cards. I have a feeling we're not going to be adrenaline rushing. We're going to be double timing. We could just take out Avalanche, which is good. We can get rid of Extortion. Problem is that Mojo is going to go into his last cards on this activation. Oh, wow. Okay. We're going to keep always be running and double time. We're going to get rid of the adrenaline rushes and draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now we're going to flip. And we're going to ready. We're going to friction resistance and def focus for double time, which we're going to do 4 damage to Avalanche to get rid of him. Let's have Scarlet Witch do her thwart. Interrupt when you use... It's not a forced, so I'm actually not going to do it. Because this will get rid of that. Which gets rid of... or puts 1 counter and build the case. We're going to maximum velocity. So we have +2 thwart, +2 attack, and +2 def until the end of the round. So we are going to have to do some massive thwarting here. Much rather use this for damage, but we don't have much of a choice. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thwart. And because we already stood up on this turn, we can't stand up again. So we're kind of stuck with we can't use always be running because we don't have the resources to do it. We'll hold on to that for next turn. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Always be running, Speed Cyclone, Plasma Pistol, Strength, and Serval Industries. Okay, not terrific. So that was the end of our turn. We have to discard now. There's only 2 left in the deck. This isn't searching for, so it's going to do a number of things all at the same time here. Okay. So, not Mojo, not Mojo. So we're not searching for anything. This is going to cause the deck to refresh. So far we have 2 going on here. So we're going to flip this card to the Wheel of Genre side. Force interrupt the start of step 3 of the villain phase. So we're not actually there yet. But this has to get shuffled. And acceleration. Yeah, this is not looking great. We got completely stalled out by those side schemes. And then Avalanche just completely messed us up. Okay. So, it's not even... So that was just due to the deck running out at the end of our turn. Okay. So now it's his turn. So, 3 goes on. So now he's at 21. He's going to... So step 3 is dealing counter cards. Okay. So he's going to attack. So we will defend. So we have a defense of 3, his attack of 1. Place 1 threat on each character you control. Okay. We draw a card. It's our last card. It's a counter punch. Oh, do we have a counter punch already? No, we didn't. Okay. Okay. So there's no damage. We're going to stand up again. Now it's deal. Oh, sorry. So we have one here. Now it's dealing counter cards. Randomly choose one set aside modular set. We know what it is. Reveal it. Show environment. Okay. And it's going to be horror. So the Mojo files. When revealed, discard each other setting environment in play. Okay. And then we shuffle the horror deck, and it's going to go right on top. And then we deal 2. So right now, each minion gains quick strike. Each ally takes -1 consequential damage after attacking a minion. Okay. So that's dealing the encounter cards. Now I have to reveal them, and we're going to get 4, so this is going to be really ugly. First one. Director's directions. When revealed, choose 1. Spend 2 different resources. Mojo schemes. That's not what we want. Take 1 damage for each threat on your identity. Well, we can't take that. If you take less than 2 damage this way, the card gains surge. So we can't. But the only thing we can do is to spend 2 different resources. So I think we're going to choose to spend energy. We're going to get rid of Serval Industries, and the pistol isn't really doing us any good right now. Oh, should have shuffled this too. Ugh. All right. Mojo is very complicated. Okay. So, that's gone. Next one. The Kraken. All right. 0 scheme, 2 attack. Creature elite. Force response after the Kraken activates, each other character takes 1 damage. Okay. And it has quick strike, so it's going to activate. When defeated, each friendly character heals 1 damage. So it's attacking for 2. We're going to have to defend. Well, no, we don't. I mean, Scarlet Witch is just going to go away anyway. So her threat goes on here. No, wait. When a character flips or leaves play. Yes. So that's at 15, 22 now. Every other character takes damage. So there. And there. Next encounter card is the Vampire. Attacks for 2. We are going to have to defend. And then lastly, Werewolf Pack. Scheme of 1, attack of 3. Oh, I forgot to read what this was. So scheme of 2, attack of 2, 6 damage. Attacks with piercing and deal double damage to Vampire. Force response after Vampire attacks and damages a character. Heal all damage from Vampire. If no damage is healed this way, give Vampire tough card. It's tough status card. The Werewolf Pack, when revealed, defeat an ally you control and place it face down under Werewolf Pack. Well, nobody was out anymore. Has scheme of 1, attack of 3, health of 4. Forced interrupt. When Werewolf Pack would be defeated, discard an ally from under it instead, then heal all damage from Werewolf Pack. Wow. So it's got Quick Strike, so we're getting attacked and we're down to 2. Things are not looking great. And then we have one last one. Cultist. Oh, good. So, wow. All right. Scheme of 1, attack of 1. Force response. After Cultist activates against you, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Kraken and put it into play. Engage with you. Then discard Cultist. Well, it's already here. And we're going to take 1 damage. Oh my goodness. Okay. I mean, we are in so much trouble. I guess I could have counterpunched there, but what good would it have done? Okay, so we're going to use our 1 free stand-up. I mean, do we stun everything? Using Speed Cyclone? 1, 2... 3, 4, 5. So we just stun everything. I think this is just probably delaying the inevitable, but you know, maybe we find a way out of this. I really have my doubts at this stage. Need 1 more. Okay, so Mojo's stunned. All stunned. I mean, we're only thwarting for 2 now, but we have to stay alive. Which will straighten up friction resistance, and when we'll stand up again, we'll thwart again. But, yeah. We are in real trouble here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Adrenaline Rush, Maximum Velocity, Genius, and Order and Chaos. Okay. So, 3 threats going on, so it's back up to 21. Oh, of course we have to do our usual. Before we even do that, we have to put threat on ourselves. Not Mojo. Mojo. Not Mojo. Mojo. Okay. Now 3 goes on. He would attack, but he can't. They would all attack, but they can't. Counter card. Insight 1. Discard 2 cards from your hand and exhaust your identity. Yeah, okay. I mean, we just have absolutely no hope. Like, I'll play it out, but there's no way now. So we're going to do our singular stand-up for this turn. We're going to go crazy with our maximum velocities. We're going to play 1 per phase anyway, so that doesn't really matter. And do what? Attack for 4. Take out werewolves. And that's about it. Because, like, 3 more... Like, even if we had thwarted, we were just going to get beaten to death. Depending on what we drew. But I don't think it would have mattered. Whoops. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Repurpose, double time, adrenaline rush, counterpunch. Yeah, no, it wouldn't have been enough. Wow. You know, in a practice game I've done of this before, I'm just calling it there. We know he's going to scheme out on his turn. First we'll go through the motions. Not Mojo, not Mojo, Mojo, Mojo. Then he would attack. We would be able to defend, but we cannot defend. Oh no, he's going to scheme out anyway. So, yeah. So, in a practice game I did about this previously, I had gotten him pretty far into his third identity, or his third stage. But this one, even though we had all the tools out available to us, we got completely shut down. Especially by Avalanche. That was brutal to get him as the last possible card. I mean, I don't know if that was the real thing that messed with us, but, you know, just really, really bad sequence of events there. All right, well, I mean, we gave it a try. I think Mojo is very tough. It really is a race, and you have to get very lucky to be able to clear that damage as quickly as possible. Even if I just went for damage, I don't think it would have turned out really any differently, because I would have been overwhelmed by the scheme. Well, that's unfortunate, but poor Quicksilver. Down he goes to Mojo, trapped in the Mojoverse forever, trapped in all these horrible genres. But we'll see what we can do next time. Both of them will return, and we'll see if we can take down Mojo in the future with somebody else. Until next time, happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching Longship Gaming. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It will really help the channel to grow and improve. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when more Longship Gaming content goes live. Until next time, happy gaming.